While the night shift nurse was asleep, she was suddenly slapped awake. She got up but didn't see anyone. However, when she turned around, she saw something terrifying. Not long ago, Rebecca had applied for a nursing job at a hospital. The hospital was in urgent need of night shift nurses, but the shifts were 12 hours long, so very few people were willing to take the job. Rebecca easily passed the interview and started working that very night. After putting her belongings in the locker, she stopped in front of the ICU, said a quick prayer, and then walked in. But as she was injecting medication into a patient, she suddenly heard someone singing. She stepped out to check the hallway, but no one was there. Rebecca figured she must have imagined it. As she returned to work, she accidentally spilled some iodine on her uniform, so she went back to the locker room to change, but found that her locker door had been opened. Then she noticed a strange figure standing outside the hallway window. She stepped out to investigate, but again, no one was there. Rebecca returned to change her clothes, but the same figure appeared again. This time, it was wearing a nurse's cap and behaving very strangely. Rebecca rushed back to the patient room. Just as she was about to inject a painkiller into a patient, he told her he had already been given the shot. He even said the nurse who gave it to him was wearing a black cloak. Rebecca checked the medical log and saw someone else's name had been added. She assumed someone was playing a prank, so she went to the nurse station and confronted her co-worker Lucy. But Lucy insisted. Only Rebecca and the doctor had access to the ICU. She couldn't have gone in even if she wanted to. Clearly, it wasn't Lucy. Rebecca chose to let the matter go. A few days later, a patient needed heart surgery, and the attending physician, Dr. Carlos, asked Rebecca to assist in the OR. Once the surgery began, the patient's blood pressure suddenly dropped. Carlos suspected internal bleeding, but they couldn't find where it was coming from. Then Rebecca noticed a nurse in a black cloak standing in the corner. She froze in fear. The doctors followed her gaze, but saw nothing there. Suddenly, the patient sat up on the operating table. His internal organs began spilling out. The team panicked and quickly pushed them back in. No one could explain why the anesthesia had worn off. Fortunately, they responded fast enough and avoided disaster. Later, they discovered the bleeding was caused by a razor blade inside the patient's body. After the surgery, Carlos asked Rebecca what she had seen. She told him exactly what she saw, but Carlos didn't believe her. Meanwhile, a nurse on duty was sleeping. At the end of the hallway, a shadowy figure stood motionless.